Welcome back to an episode. We are again somewhere stranded in space, and it's not just any space. Nope, it is Sowilo, the sector with the Shadow Broker base. Also a very interesting thing because you can actually invest in things and read in some interesting little dossiers and whatnot. So let's just enter this one's orbit and maybe even scan the thing, because I didn't do that the last time around. Anyway, Hagalas is a second-tier garden world that receives little attention from the galactic community. The Solarian mining expedition initially discovered the planet, which was promptly strong-armed away from them by organized crime figures. Hagalas's exploration rights were then sold to the highest bidder, which led to a brief burst of mining colonies in the 2000s. But most of those were abandoned when other planets were found with more accessible resources. Though Hagalas has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere capable of supporting life, its rotational period is slower than Earth's, making its day and night 98 Earth days long. The intense heat on one side of the planet and the extreme cold on the other make for violent storm cells, whether the sun is rising or setting. As a result, the flora and fauna of Hagalas have developed the capability to live in cycles of ice, flooding, baking, heat, and dramatic air pressure changes. The biota of the planet has been largely unexploited by the exotic pet and gardening trades, since simulating their natural conditions is problematic for the average consumer. Yeah, does the average consumer have a 98 Earth days? That's very long. 3 months, a little bit. It's insane. Alright. That might actually be the one.
Launching probe.
Okay, let's just hope I don't need that many probes for that whole whole sector. Well, system. It's a system, not a sector.
Probe away.
So,
Probe away. Probe away.
We're probing things.
Probe launched. Launching
Still
probe.
moderate though. There we go. So that might be, let's say 2 more. So that means this could be the last one.
Probe away.
There we go. Perfect. So Hagalas is done for. Too bad you can't just quick jump to that planet. That would be fine. So, Urus, a large rock planet with a pressure cooker atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. Urus's silicate-rich crust is relatively low density. It was largely ignored by the Solarian explorers who first charted the system. A rich planet, and we got 20 probes left. The thing is, on Ilium, there's Thane. Thane has the upgrade for the ship to increase the amount of probes, or doubling the amount of maximum probes that you can carry around. So instead of 30, you can carry around 60, which makes scanning everything a breeze, pretty much. Because most of the time you have to go back and forth at least twice.
Launching probe.
So with one refresh of the probes, you can actually do a whole system
Probe launched.
with just one batch of probes. One batch of 60.
Launching probe.
Instead of going back and forth multiple times. So let's see. Yippity doo. That one.
Probe launched. Probe away.
Okay, so moderate, right? That means just a few seconds later we may... that is the one.
Launching
Then
probe.
it turns to poor. And then we need to scan maybe 2 more of those. With a little bit of luck, it's just 1. Where is that large spike? That one looks somewhat weird. Could be it.
Launching probe.
But I'm just messing with it. Yeah, that was definitely not it. There's probably like a real large one. That could be it. That's the
Probe
last.
away.
And, yeah. Goody. Urus is now done. Next. Let's go for that one. What's that? Anzus, a large rock planet. Anzus was once under development by a consortium of robo-mining interests, but an epidemic of accidents and sabotage cost the lives of hundreds of workers and eventually drove them off the world. Despite numerous accusations among the mining corporations and a dozen or more trials, popular opinion holds that the real saboteurs were never found. It's a sabotage. Oh, element 0 and a real high amount of iridium. Now look at that. So where's that element 0 when you need it? There we go.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
Just don't know what else to use all of those resources for. Like, look at that.
Probe away.
900,000. Pretty much a million.
Probe away.
So we got 1 million iridium, close to 1 million palladium, close to 1 million platinum as well.
Probe launched.
And roughly 200,000 ESO. That is insane.
Probe away.
And I don't know what else to get. Like, the thing that I'm
Probe
actually
launched.
lacking is credit and not those resources. Ah, bollocks. I'm out of probes. Okay. So, I have to get back though. Where is that thing? Okay, so it's not in the northern section. There. Okay, all the way down south. Yeah, look at that. That's one of the strangest things, actually. Like just flying through empty space and hoping to find the mass relay again. There's no pointer, no nothing. So did I actually... Oracle Sky Harvest is a standard... Yes, I think the name Sky Harvest I already did, but... Where on earth am I? I'm just gonna look here. Shadow Broker Base. Oh, look at that. Hourglass Nebula. Alright. And then, I also got some star charts, and those star charts give me a completely different system. Look at that. Okay, so Platinum Rich Planet 1. Platinum Rich Planet. Then we got the Safe Crashing Ship. I don't know what that mission actually is. But okay. And then... What about all the other star charts that I got? Like, I thought I had... a few more. Or maybe the Platinum Rich Planet is just one of many. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right spot. Okay, whatever. So, let's get back into that hourglass thingy. So, need to get back the Shadow Broker base. Like, why does it have to be that far away as well? Like, look at that. Of course, it needs to be very difficult to get. Okay, so Anzus. Let's continue the scanning. Oh, right there. Perfect.
Launching probe.
Glorious.
Probe launched. Probe away.
So,
Probe launched.
oh, wait, it's
Probe
already
away.
depleted. I shouldn't waste that. Okay. So, good. We got Anzus. Then there is this other small planetary thing. What's this one? Canas. Ganas's extremely thin atmospheres, mostly methane and helium. The Solarian explorers who named the system set up a small mining presence for recovering nickel and chromium used in making stainless steels. And everything in here is rich.
Probe
Amazing.
away.
Bloody believable.
Probe away.
Will I actually reach 1 million on all of the... Oh. Million on everything. Maybe even like 200,000 on these, huh?
Launching
I
probe.
mean, 200,000 may be easy to get. But I'm kind of just hoping for 500,000. The thing is, there's nothing that you can buy
Probe launched.
with all of those resources. Absolutely nothing.
Probe launched.
They could upgrade a whole armada of ships with this.
Launching probe.
But we have to make sure. Okay. Let me just get all of this out there.
Launching probe.
Still, that's the last one. All right.
Probe away.
Hopefully. Yes. Okay, that one is depleted. Perfect. Next. What's this one called? Thurisas. They all end with a Z, pretty much. A hydrogen-helium gas giant. Thurisas has a decrepit automated infrastructure for refueling merchant vessels with helium-free. Painted onto the metal in a Solarian dialect. Other words, self-serve. Just take whatever you need.
Probe launched.
Okay, that could be a big spike.
Probe launched.
How many spikes are actually supposed to be for a poor planet? This
Launching probe.
This looks medium. This is probably not even a real spike, supposedly. Like, even... Okay, that's a good spike.
Probe away.
I'm using already far too many probes for this one. Come on.
Launching probe.
Yeah. For a poor planet, it has far too many resources. And interestingly enough, it's not a big spike, like a tall spike. It's more like a wide spike.
Launching probe.
And medium spikes on top of that. Oh wait. There we go.
Probe away.
Oh wait. And depleted. Good. Yeah. Let's get to the next one. I will not manage that. I know. So, how's this one? ER, not a Z. Okay. A rock and ice planet, ESA, has a thin atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its borax deposits, largely trapped beneath the ice, were never considered valuable enough to mine since synthetic substitutes and alternative sources became widely available. Oh, wait, it's depleted? Wow. The first and only depleted planet. Interesting. Alright, so we got it at 100%. And now we can go back.
Fuel reserves at 50%.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go and scan all the other systems that I have unlocked, just in case. So, now then, where do we need to go? The save the crash ship kind of thing I'm gonna do later. Right now, we are going for the Minos Wasteland. Minos? Okay. The king... No, it was Midas. Not Minos. Minos was the one in the labyrinth. So, what do we got here? Oh. Master relay. But there's no... Oh, come on. There's no fuel station. You can't do this to me. That's cheap.
I have detected an anomaly.
Ooh. Aequitas. I think I'm gonna read that one before we land on that, just in case. Okay, so let's just get the signal first there.
Probe away. I have found something.
Okay, surface scans report potential alien signatures from within the mining facility. Anomalous life signs detected. Whereabouts of facility stuff unknown. Yeah, yeah, investigate the abandoned mine.
Probe away.
If it's an abandoned mine, then what are we supposed to investigate? There's no one
Probe
there.
away.
It's right in the name. Abandoned. Meaning no one.
Probe launched.
No one present. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really
Probe
good
away.
spot. Where's the... Ooh. Another biggie.
Probe away.
Oh, look at that. We're already at 980,000 on the Palladium. That's
Probe
amazing.
launched.
That was a medium-ish kind of spike then.
Launching probe.
I use far too many mini probes for this. Always just go for the big spikes.
Probe away.
Anything that looks taller than 50%. Not the rest. Not the in-betweeny things. There we go.
Launching probe.
Close. Poor means we can scan 2 or 3
Probe
more
launched.
times. It's once. And that one kind of looks like the last.
Probe away.
Okay, we got it. Perfect. So, that anomaly will be there for later. Let's get this one, Aequitas. Though Aequitas has a combination of features that make terraforming a possibility, the rights to the planet have been tied up in Citadel Council courts for the past 8 years. The running joke is that by the time the Council finally gives the go-ahead to colonize the planet, Aequitas will have evolved life of its own. Home to comfortable temperatures and mild atmosphere of mostly nitrogen and argon, Aequitas could be habitable with the addition of oxygen-producing cyanobacteria. Its crust is high in silicates and carbon, allowing for easy fabrication of construction materials. Smugglers, pirates, and other unregistered starships sometimes touch down on Aequitas to lay low or make repairs. Civilian travel is not advised. I mean, it looks more like a safety spot. No one wants to be messed with
Probe
or
away.
interfered with, so there we go. That's a good one.
Probe away.
Ooh.
Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe launched.
Oh boy. Looks like I have to get to another system in order to charge up again.
Launching probe.
That is not good. Definitely not good. That's good spike.
Launching probe. Probe launched. Probe launched.
Okay, wait. It's like in betweeny thingies. I'm looking for the last big spike. Either I missed it, or it's a mix of spikes. Could be that one, but no. Usually it's... it could also be... No, it's probably not that one.
Probe away.
Probably, yeah. So it's not this one. There's probably a large spike hidden somewhere, and I just missed it by a little moment. That's the one.
Launching probe.
Alright, so planet is scanned. What about that thing? Vera, a pressure cooker planet with a thick nitrogen-heavy atmosphere. is largely ignored by the galactic community, probes have revealed a crust of nickel and scorched carbon, both of which can be found in abundance elsewhere at far lesser temperatures. That's more like a medium spark.
Probe launched.
Let's get this one. Yeah, there we go. Big
Probe
spike.
away.
Oh, look at this. We got more than 1 million. Sweet.
Launching probe.
Ooh, launch spikes.
Launching
A
probe.
double spike. Did I actually get like 3 spikes once? That would be interesting. Ah, come on. So now I need to get myself another fuel station. Would be so nice to fuel up somewhere. So the Isma thing may have a fuel station nearby. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. So there's at least only one other system here. So which one was it via? Oh, look at that. The rest is also explored. So it's just resources now.
Probe away. Launching
The
probe.
planet is supposed to be only good, right? Wait, does good come
Launching
before or after moderate? Might be slightly above it. Yeah,
Probe
it's like
launched.
rich, followed by good, followed by moderate. Or like good is a different word for rich. Not as.
Launching probe.
So then it, yeah, then it goes to moderate. Strangely enough,
Launching probe.
usually goes from rich directly to moderate, which is weird.
Launching probe.
Where's the last spike? I'm looking for a spiky spike. That could have been the one, or at least one that's somewhat close by. Nope. Ah, that could be the one. Ah, it's not the one. Looking for a big spike. There we go.
Probe away.
And we got the thing. Perfect. So with a little bit of luck, Cestus will not have that much stuff. It's a platinum-rich planet. With a little bit of luck, only one planet, right? 2. Okay. That could be interesting. Let's see. Invictus. Home to dextro amino acid-based life. Invictus temperate zones were settled by a Turian population that initially fell prey to a bewildering number of diseases. 2 decades after its first colony was founded, its population had reduced by half due to fatalities and a large colonist exodus. But when the Primarchs considered ceding the planet to robo-mining interests, the Turian statesmen Shastina and Emperors ambitiously declared that she would start her own colony and double its population within 5 years. This effort succeeded largely due to the colony's location in deserts with a minimal number of pest species. The image of Shastina's triumph in the frontier made for good political theater, and the Turian population poured in. The planet's tropical belt still remains largely unexplored, as its aggressive organic life still wreaks havoc on Turian biology. A house in an Invictus jungle is a modern Turian phrase for an idea that seems like a good idea, but only to the one who came up with it. Invictus' atmosphere is primarily nitrogen and oxygen, and its surface crust varies, but has high concentration of alumina and silver. Because it can support life easily, criminals from throughout the Terminus system hide out on Invictus. Its official population is estimated to be half the number of sapiens that are actually on the planet. So there are whoa, that's a lot. 640 million. That's a lot of people. Still less than on Earth, right? Still less than Earth. Wow. What is that green thing there in the center?
Launching
And then
probe.
there's just desert around it. That's really weird. Could that be the tropical belt?
Probe launched.
But I'm still missing the water.
Launching probe.
Also, we don't know how the planet actually rotates. It could be like Earth's rotation, which is in line with the
Launching probe.
rotation of the Earth around the Sun. So meaning that the Earth
Probe
goes
away.
around the Sun, and the rotational axis of that motion is the same. What the
Probe away.
whatever the axis of motion of Earth around the Sun is a similar
Launching
one
probe.
than the one that Earth uses to rotate around itself. There are other
Launching
planets
probe.
that are like tipped to the side, and they kind of behave more like a wheel that goes around,
Launching probe.
which is a little different. Like a wheel that actually drives on the road.
Launching probe.
So 90-degree shift.
Launching probe.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Looks like I have to go back in order to get the other probes now. You gotta be kidding me. There are 2 planets, right? And that one takes all my probes.
Probe launched.
That is just great. Okay, so Pool
Probe
usually
away.
takes 3 probes, right? Oh, or just 1. Or just 1 it is. And what about this other one? This is Temerados. Visible in Invictus's night sky is Temerados, a planet named for the Turian spirit said to have inspired the crew of their first manned moon launch. A boiling hot rock planet, Temerados is much hotter than its temperate neighbor due to a thick atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide and helium. Its hot surface is largely composed of boron, surrounded by a thick dust cloud. Temerados is often struck by small meteors, making exploration dangerous. And of course it's rich, meaning we will not get
Probe launched.
everything from this thing. With only 7
Launching
probes.
probe.
And invisibility.
Probe
Impossibility.
launched. Probe away. Launching probe.
There we go.
Probe launched.
Let's see. 1 more probe and the whole thing will turn to moderate, I believe.
Launching probe.
No, okay. So then, let's travel a little bit back and forth. Platinum-rich planet. It's already one thing to only have 1 fuel station next to the mass relay, which kind of makes sense, sure, but having no fuel station in a system where the mass relay is supposed to be, that's just cheap. Alright. So, Minos Wasteland. Alrighty. Oh.
Launching probe. Probe away.
That whole
Probe away.
platinum-rich tag didn't disappear though, even after the whole depletion of the planet.
Probe launched.
How many resources can you get even for a standard
Probe
spot?
launched.
Like, look at that. That one is like 1,000, if anything. Yeah, let's look at the big one here. 1,650.
Probe launched.
And then it goes to... So 1,650, basically 2,000 for a big spike. 2,000 for a big spike. And that one is still rich. Whatever. Weird. So this one is supposed to be rich in platinum, right? Let's see. There's nothing around here. If I go and just place that one here, what do I get? Ooh! That's the first, like, useless probe, actually. Very interesting. Ah, there. Okay. I could still be a little bit of platinum.
Launching probe.
Let's try to get as much as we can from it. So if there's no little hill there, no signal coming in, other than noise, you don't actually get anything. Yeah, looks like you already got all of it. Okay. So that one is a platinum-rich planet. Not anymore, and you can't land on it. Very important. So why is the tag still there? What, does it refresh after so many times? That would be an interesting one. A system that refreshes. Okay, so that's at 100%. Oh wait, no. Investigate the abandoned mine. That one is something for later. We are just here for scanning purposes. That one. MSV Broken Arrow. And there's a Satan, Tirada, and Chrysaroid. Okay, that's a lot. So, let's get the probes and fuel. Starting from the center with this thing. Izale. Izale is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. Though gas giants are known for their powerful magnetic fields, Izale's field is stronger than current models predict. Within the frost line of its solar system, where gas giants do not usually form, Izale is believed to have once been extrasolar. So it's a capture. Very interesting.
Probe launched.
Okay, poor. Poor usually means we get... Where's the thing? That looks like a good spike.
Launching probe.
Maximum 5 spikes, let's say. That was 1 out of 5. That's 2 out of 5.
Probe away. Probe launched.
3 out of 5. Oh, and that one. That's 4 out of 5, and that could be the last
launched.
one. Ah, it's not it. Okay. So maybe it's... No. Where is the thing? Maybe I have to look for... There we go. That's 5 out of 5. Come on, it has to be 5. Yes. Okay, 33. So there are 3 thingies around. The MSV Broken Arrow and that crashing ship thing. We're not gonna get anywhere closer. Jonas. Jonas, a methane ammonia ice giant, is being developed as a fuel depot serving the Pylos cluster. Eldfell Ashland Energy has established a base on one of its moons to crack water ice into hydrogen and oxygen and skim helium free from its atmosphere. Jonas is also believed to be an extrasolar planet captured by its star. From orbit, Normandy's sensors can pick out a hand-painted sign some waggish employee has left outside the complex. Last chance fuel for 100 light years. Okay, so get your fill now, otherwise you're screwed.
Probe launched.
Why is there nothing like solar sail technology on ships? Like solar sails are like one of the most basic kind of things. How you can move a satellite or a whatever kind of module through space. Only thing you need is like, yeah, solar wind. So some kind of pressure that moves the whole thing forward or accelerates it. And then, yeah, you need some kind of, you need a sail that kind of captures it.
Launching probe.
But there's no way for you to actually use this on a ship, like the same kind of way that a ship on water would actually work. But also, normal sailing ships, they are not they are somewhat pushed forwards, yes, but not the way you actually think. They behave more like a wing, which means like there's a high pressure and low pressure area.
Probe launched.
There we go. And that one kind of pulls and, well, actually there's no such thing as pulling. But
Launching
it just
probe.
pushes forward because of the atmosphere. And it only works because there's like a negative pressure on the other side, where
Launching probe.
the air can actually push into. So, let's see. Why can't I find the other one? I think I just go past that, whatever that is. It's probably not it, but...
Probe away.
Oh, it is. Okay, so that planet definitely was one of the simpler ones. So, where did we go? Where did we go? Where did we go? Wait. There were 3. Oh, yeah. Let's start with this Dorada thing. Oi. That's a lot of planets. That is a lot of planets. Bioware. Within an orbital period nearly 2 millennia long, the cold and distant Bioware was actually missed in the initial Asari survey of the system. Only a follow-up mineral assay sent to Canalos by a Volus mining concern noticed its subtle movement across the stars. Bioware is a methane ammonia ice giant circled by a retinue of deep frozen moons. Its remoteness makes it a popular drive discharge point for pirates working the Pylos Nebula cluster. In the last 2 years, several dozen ships have disappeared while passing through the Dorada system. As Pylos is currently unclaimed by any sovereign power, Council naval patrols are few and far between. Thus far, none of the pirates responsible have been apprehended. Yeah, and because it is a pirate area, like it's looted pretty much to the max. Or harvested full. There you go.
Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe away. Probe away. Probe launched. Probe away.
And we got it. So, how many is it? 8%? 16%. Whoa, that's a beautiful one. Okay, Cineos. A standard hydrogen helium gas giant. Cineos has more than 80 moons. But we are not here for the moons, it seems. We're here for the rest.
Probe launched.
And it's a pool one, which means we only use 5 probes. If I'm lucky.
Launching probe.
Okay, it's already free. And the spikes are definitely not worth it. There we go.
Launching
Number
probe.
4. So where's the rest?
Launching probe.
That's probably a bit more. I used like... Oh, I got medium spikes for this one. There's definitely a wee bit more. One more large spike. I don't like it when there are like medium spikes in here. Okay, so let's just try this
Probe
one.
away.
And we got it. Perfect. Next. Let's just go from outside to inside. Zeth. Zeth is a common hydrogen helium gas giant. An abundance of sulfur in the upper atmosphere gives it distinct yellow stripes. It's kind of like a more reddish Jupiter, in a way. Okay, that's nothing there. Ooh, that's a good one.
Probe away. Probe away. Launching probe. Probe away.
There we go.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
1 out of 5. No, wait a minute. If that's a poor like that, it means 3, isn't it? So that's 2 out of 3 spikes. Oh, and already depleted. Perfect. Time to get the next one. And this one is...
detected an anomaly.
Oh, Canalis, another anomaly. Perfect. Canalis is smaller than Earth, but has unusual high density. The high level of tectonic activity indicates that the density is caused by an abundance of radioactive material in the core. These, combined with the planet's unusually high rate of spin, raise the planet's internal temperature and cause volcanism. While several companies performed mineral assays in the late 2170s, the world's geological instability precluded development. That's definitely a weird sound.
Probe away.
Sounds like
something on our sensors.
GEF, or like, oh yeah, GEF activity. Sensors detected anomalous weather patterns on the planet's surface. GEF activity detected. Recommend extreme caution. We're not landing. We're going to keep those thingies for later. For now, only thing we do is scan, get the resources, and then we come back and we'll do all of
Probe
those
away.
So, that's a good one.
Probe launched. Probe away. Probe launched.
I think fat probes are not enough for this one. I need like 10 at least.
Probe launched. Probe away.
Yeah, moderate, not poor yet.
Probe away.
That could take a little while. Oh, that's a good spot.
Probe away. Probe launched.
Ooh, depleted. That's convenient. Alright, so now, back to the fuel station. Da-da-dee-da-da-doo. Disable the GEF device. Yeah, that can there could be something in this asteroid belt, just in case. No. Alright. What about this one? Cyano. Cyano, named for an ancient Asari philosopher known for being a contrarian, orbits Dirada at a retrograde. It is believed to be an object that fell into the system millions of years ago from parts unknown. The outermost of Dirada's 2 inner asteroid belts is thought to have been a small planetoid that was broken up by Cyano's passage into the system. Cyano is formed of low-density rock and is tightly locked to Dirada. The same hemisphere always faces the star, as evidence that a complex of artificial structures once existed in the north of the sunward-facing hemisphere, but they have been badly degraded by millennia of heat and radiation. Several bunkers of radioactive wastes, apparently byproducts of primitive fission plants have been discovered on the far side. So they use it as a trash mountain.
Launching probe.
An oversized trash can.
Probe away.
Why is there element 0 on this one? Would it mean that fission or fusion, like nuclear reactions, have something to do with the element 0 effect?
Launching probe.
That would be quite interesting to know.
Probe launched.
Actually, it would make some kind of sense, right? Because those things are heavier particles compared to like the electrons. So they are things that give mass to the atom.
Probe launched.
So anything nucleus or nuclear related
Probe away.
might be a key to understanding how gravity
Launching
works.
probe.
Maybe it's really that easy.
Probe launched. Launching probe.
Alright, now how many more? I should be...
Probe launched.
These are so many probes already. That's a good one. Maybe it's even the last. Okay, turn to moderate.
Probe launched. Launching probe.
Now it turns to pool. It's a Pluto. Okay. Easy. So, next one. 38, so it's usually 16, which means that might be the last one. TheNefari is a small barren rock, though there is evidence that it once had an atmosphere of carbon dioxide. Only trace amounts of krypton and xenon remain. Like cyano, it is tightly locked to Dirada. And of course it's rich. Any iridium.
Launching probe.
Maybe any kind of metal.
Launching probe.
Ooh, nice.
Probe away. Launching probe. Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe away.
I don't think that 7 probes may be enough for this.
Probe launched.
Definitely not. I have to get back and refuel. Ooh, that's a good one.
Launching probe.
2 spikes at once. Okay, maybe I can actually achieve that. Who knows? Maybe it's going to work. I just have to make sure that I'm not going to get any medium spikes. Just get the big ones. I mean, that is like... no. Don't get distracted. Get the big spikes. Get the big spike. There we go. Big spikes.
Probe away.
1. Now it's just poor. Perfect. There's a medium spike over there. And then there's like 2 more spikes over there too. But there is... Okay, that might be a big spike. That might be the last one.
Probe away.
Yes. Perfect. So, Dirada is now at 100%. Only thing remaining is the Anomaly. So, Chrysaroid. Whoa, that's a little far away. Okay, but you can reach it, normally. So what do we got? Tenoth. Tenoth is a little more than a glorified ice dwarf that has drifted inwards from Chrysaor's Oort cloud. Over the millennia, its extremely elliptical orbit is ultimately unstable. Computer projections suggest it will impact the atmosphere of Geos in a few billion years. That was a large spike there for a moment, wasn't it? Okay, let's just get this one.
Probe launched.
It's always those medium spike things. Yeah, that's a big one.
Probe launched.
It's already poor, right? Okay, but that's definitely a big spike too. Ooh.
Probe launched.
Okay, let's just try this one.
Launching probe.
May not be worth it. So, we need the big spikes though. We need the big spikes though. Okay, maybe I really have to go for a medium spike on this one.
Launching probe.
And I think I just missed it completely. Okay. There really is a large spike somewhere hidden. And I just missed it. That might be the one.
Probe launched.
There we go. Good. 20, so there are 5 of those. Geos. Geos is another methane ammonia gas giant, very similar to its near twin Uzin. It presents a nearly featureless robin egg blue face to the universe.
Launching probe. Probe away. Probe launched.
A bit weird. Yeah, that's a good spike.
Probe launched.
Weird. Okay.
Probe launched.
It's probably not the one that I need. Oh, it is. Lucky me. Right. Next up is that planet over here. Uzine. A typical methane ammonia ice giant, Uzine has 37 moons of various sizes. And Aequitas, one of the largest orbits at a retrograde, suggesting it was a planetesimal that was captured by the gas giant's gravity well. The planet itself is believed to be an extrasolar capture as well, though millions of years before Aequitas came on the scene. Evidence collected by the planetary geologists suggests that Aequitas was for many centuries a water world, heated by tidal flood flexing as its orbit circularized around Uzine. The planetary ocean, once hundreds of kilometers deep, must now be frozen solid. Some have recommended drilling test bores to see if life ever developed in Uzine's seas, but the question is considered academic. Meaning there's no real reason to do that other than knowledge base.
Launching probe.
Which is one of the few reasons why you would always get a no.
Launching probe.
If there's money involved or some other economic benefit, then
probe launched.
Then there's actually people paying for it. So let's see.
Launching probe.
Kind of the same with survey ships on the oceans, pretty much. You need someone to pay for all of that. Either it's the government for whatever reason, or it's a private interest that just uses it and gives researchers an opportunity to just be on board as well. One way of getting like cheap access to crew.
Launched.
Alright, let's see. Definitely not it. There has to be a really good one around. I just can't find it. Why is it always this? There we go. Somewhat
launching probe.
Poor-ish planet. Yeah, that's not it. I'm wasting probes on this one. Not cool, not cool. I am looking for a large spike. That could be the one, but there we go. That is the one.
Probe away.
So, next up. Theonax. Theonax's surface is covered by water and ammonia hydride ices, which are constantly repaved by cryovolcanic processes. The world's size and density suggests the core contains heavier elements and retains much of the heat of the system's formation. And of course, this one has to be rich.
Probe launched.
Which usually means like 10 or 15 probes.
Probe away.
8 won't be enough.
Launching probe.
Cool.
Probe launched. Launching probe.
Could have gotten higher for that one. There's this thing.
Probe away.
The last one would probably turn it into moderate or
Launching
something.
probe.
Yeah, still not moderate yet. No, it's
Probe
probably
launched.
moderate. Not yet. Okay. So, I have to go back and refuel.
Fuel at 1/2 capacity.
There should be a marker telling you where the mass relay is. Flying into the unknown. I mean, it is somewhat adventurous, sure, but that's just not something that you want to do in here. Yeah, just think about it. You can't actually go somewhere into the unknown because of the resources that you... No, that's not what I wanted. Because of the resources that you need. You can only stay somewhere close to the mass relays. And everything past a certain horizon is pretty much inaccessible. So, now let's continue.
Probe away.
And that may be just the last one, and you please... Nope.
Probe away.
Ooh, that's big.
Launching probe.
And depleting. Perfect. So, and the last one. That one is called Nidus. Nidus lies probably close to the red dwarf Chrysaroy. This allows it to approach habitability, though it is quite frigid. It is tightly locked with a hot pole and a cold pole. Along the Terminator, the temperature averages just above freezing. On the lee side, the temperatures are well below freezing. Nidus has developed a limited native ecology. Much of it clusters permanently attached around the geothermal vents. There are, however, more advanced forms of life. Several arthropodal herbivore species wander back and forth across the Terminator, as they require nutrients available in both environments for sustenance. More dangerous are the omnivore predator species that devour the arthropods. Most animals' life on Nidus has limited vision, but finely developed thermal sense.
Launching probe.
Why can't they see that way?
Launching probe.
What do you usually like? Why do animals have thermal vision? I mean, it's some kind of light that you can see.
Probe
Sure.
launched.
But only because the sun itself isn't as useful as a light source. The thing is, if you use the heat radiated from an animal, it is extremely limited, whereas sunlight is basically made by a huge fusion reactor in the sky, right? So you have a decent amount of energy that you can receive or use to see. At thermal vision, you have to be extremely sensitive, and because of the square law, it reduces it the further you are away. So it means that thermal vision is basically used if
Probe away.
you can't really see the target, like if it's very far away, if it's very close. So if you can already kind of see it or would be able to see it.
Launching probe.
So it might be useful in like very high vegetation environments. So let's say that there's a leaf in front of whatever thing it is that you want to eat.
Only half
And
our
that
fuel
might be the
remains.
reason. Actually, it's a very good reason. Like in the jungle, there's always some brushwork, leaves, whatever in the way. And this might be where the snakes are. The snakes need to identify their prey. Like in mud, behind leaves. I have to find it somewhere. So, what's this one? Boro. Boro is a young Volus colony world, settled in defiance of a threat by terminus pirate groups. The pirates, who can't use the world themselves, have suggested that the Volus hire them to protect the colony. The Volus responded by requesting military protection from their Turian allies. Although uncomfortably hot by Volus standards, Boro has the rare combination of high pressure and ammonia ecology Volus require. Development of the colony is proceeding rapidly. Only 1,000 people. Is pretty much no one.
Probe launched.
They need a whole planet. Just think about it.
Launching
1,000
probe.
people need a whole planet.
Probe away.
In a way, the less people you have, the more resources you can use per person. But the thing is, like, what is it that you want to build?
Launching probe.
And the more complex the thing is that you want to build, the more people you need to build it. But in this case, because we are somewhere in the future, with maybe robots
Launching
and
probe.
high kind of technology and Mass Effect abilities,
Probe launched.
that means maybe actually very easy to build any like
Probe away.
factory machinery or whatever. You don't really need people working for it. Maybe one way of actually reducing the amount of
Probe launched.
population. Like there's it increases because you need a lot of people
Probe
that can do
launched.
the work, but after a certain amount of time, the people just get substituted by machines in different kind of forms. So either robots, like directly, something that directly
Probe
competes
launched.
with the person or the human or whatever it could be. And then a heavy
Probe
kind
away.
of machine, something that is definitely not human or human-like.
Probe away.
But because of its like deformation or special form, it's able to produce a lot of resources
Probe
or
launched.
products. Okay, that one is depleted too. Poor Volos don't have anything anymore. So what's that red planet? Natais, an unremarkable methane ammonia gas giant. Natais would be of no consequence if it weren't the only approachable gas giant in the Saturn system. Volos colony has set up a few automated ice cracking stations around the planet, and Nahu combined has been contracted to set up a helium-free extraction facility. Construction is lagged due to the CEO's arrest in a kickback scandal that reaches to the highest levels of the Vol Ministry of the Frontier.
Probe away.
So it really is a completely automated system. And the thing that builds the automated system, is this also
Probe
automated?
launched.
How much automation is there in the future? When does it stop?
Launching probe.
Actually, the answer is quite simple. What's the price for biological labor? It's cheaper.
Probe launched.
Well, actually, maybe it's not a direct price of a
Probe
thing,
away.
but rather the opportunity price that you would pay if you would not use that thing for something else. Yeah.
Probe launched.
Yeah. So that actually means that, let's say, mundane work would always be best suited for robots, even
Probe
if,
away.
let's say, humans would be cheaper to pay. Because, in this case, what if a human has a better value, or like a higher productivity, if the human actually does something else and not work at a factory? Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's the best position to be. So you shouldn't go for the cost side, right? The thing that you lose, in order to minimize that as much as possible. But you should maximize the thing that you gain, right? That's actually a somewhat
Probe
different
away.
way of looking at difference in cost. It's weird. Not the stuff that you pay, but the stuff that you gain. Alright, Rhizares, an airless rock of mixed light ores. Rhizares is only of note for the Terinu impact crater, a relatively recent asteroid strike within the last million years. The core of the object was partly composed of element zero. It struck at a low enough velocity that these remained near the surface. Over the years, many pirates and wildcat miners have attempted to extract the ore. It is believed that the Terinu debris originated in the pulsar system, AP3 and so on. The supernova that formed the pulsar also created the red emission nebula that human spacers have unofficially named the Sakura Nebula. That one is extremely beautiful. Whoa. That could be the Ether that they mentioned.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
Yeah, I'm just wasting too many probes.
Launching probe.
Alright, back we go. Almost got it. Almost got it. Any second now. Any second now.
Probe launched. Probe away. Probe launched.
Oh, that's it.
Probe away. Launching probe.
Oh,
Launching probe.
oh yes, this is easy. Give me that
Probe
easy.
away.
Somewhere in there is a good spike, isn't it? Like, this is medium stuff. This is not the real good spike that I need. I need that. There we go.
Probe launched.
Uh-oh. Still not the right one. There.
Probe away.
Still not. You gotta be kidding me. Where's the rest hiding? I can't find it. Oh. Okay, so either it is related to the element 0 spike somewhere over here.
Launching
Might
probe.
be because it's special. No, it's not. Okay, so there may be something else then. I think I already went past it. Ah, come on. There, that's the one.
Launching probe.
Alright. 2 more to go and we don't have enough probes. Anedia. Anedia is a small ice body with a very low density. Its mass is only 4% of that of Earth. It appears to be composed mainly of carbon and water ice, but over the millennia it has accrued a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. While Anedia's gravity is weak enough that a cruiser could land on it safely, there's no particular reason one would want to. Pirates have been known to land to recover ice for cracking into hydrogen and oxygen. One area in the southern hemisphere, the so-called Anedia scraps, is so frequently used for this purpose that higher albedo raw ice can be easily seen from orbit. There we go,
Probe
good
launched.
stuff. That could be a good spike. That's a huge
Launching
one, look
probe.
at
Launching probe. Launching probe. Probe away. Probe away. Probe launched. Probe away.
Let's take that one.
Probe away.
Looks like we have to go one last star to refuel again.
Probe launched.
Ooh, depleted. Yes. Alright. The last one. Really hidden behind the sun. Oi, Rascal. Rascal is a massive... Oh, that one burns in the eyes. Rascal is a massive hot Jupiter gas giant that wisps around the star Saturn once every 4.5 days. Like most planets of its type, it migrates inwards from its initial position in the system. Though to be thought to be around 0.3 astronomical units, Rascal is one of the few close orbiting gas giants to show a marked temperature difference in its sun-facing dark side hemisphere. The atmosphere absorbs and re-radiates Saturn's heat too quickly for winds to carry the heat to the dark side. There's a temperature difference of over 1,000 degrees between the gas giant's hot and cold poles. That is a lot of difference.
Probe launched.
So it could mean that there's a good storm in between that you
Launching
can
probe.
utilize. The question is, how would you utilize that on a gas giant? You could use this for actually chemical
Probe away.
reactions. That might be a good thing. So there's like a certain kind of pressure that happens.
Probe away.
But other than that, pretty much have absolutely no clue
Probe launched.
what that temperature difference could be used for otherwise.
Probe away. Probe launched.
It's probably
Launching
not.
probe.
If it's depleted, I'm lucky. Oh, Nice. Perfect. So we got Saturn at 100%, and that also means we got the system pretty much at 100%, with one exception, Narif, because of the crash landing and the GEF device thing that has to be disabled. So there's an awful lot of things that we can do around here. Let's go to the GEF area, and then we go one step further towards the master area all the time. But before we actually do the GEF thingy, the GEF device disabling thing, we're going to end this episode, which was all about scanning, taking the credits, and so on and so forth. No messages for you, Commander. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Alright. And yeah. Also no codex entries. Alright. Anyway. Like and subscribe, of course, as usual. And